What goes in your world?
It goes okay.
Hello, how's it
How
going?
are y'all?
Can't complain. I know. You just can't, etc., etc. Well, it never has worked.
I don't know. You could be complaining that you can't complain. So
It's insidious.
what's your complaint at work? We don't have a complaint box.
Everybody's so happy and joyful.
Did you watch Mad Men?
No. Just some outtakes.
I enjoyed that series. It was pretty good, and it also gave you this little glimpse into the past, into the mentality of people in 1950s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of social commentary kind of hidden. I think I've mentioned it before. The one scene where they're having the picnic by the side of the road with their nice car behind them, like those Norman Rockwell paintings.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we're done eating. They stand up, grab their blanket, flip all the trash off of it, throw it in the car, and drive off. There's this nice scenic picture of all the trash on the side of the road where they were having their picnic.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yep. Clever. So I believe it is E's turn this evening.
Yes.
All right. Oh, boy. Watch our cat.
The party environment those advertisers have in their jobs where they all have bottles of bourbon, in wet bars and stuff like that.
Howdy, C. Howdy, Logan.
Hello.
How goes?
He's being quiet over here.
Oh, that's a strong silent type right there. There you go.
Yeah.
So I think the E had mentioned that he's got your character stuff set up, or at least ready with that, or in mind, or something.
Sorry, I blipped. What?
Character good.
Yeah. I had him look up at the portrait on the way down on the ride last night. So.
Ah, excellent. Let me see here. Stick you guys over here.
That's a very big sword for an elf.
Yeah, well, he liked the great sword idea.
Hassan Chop Suey.
Yeah.
Crazy cat. How you doing, buddy? Well, Neff, what's your vote for a follow-on game after we've concluded, now that we've concluded the Lethia game?
Well, I saw Thor Love and Thunder last night, so Space Vikings sounds fun.
Space Viking. Okay. I'm not sure that was on my list.
Are you sure?
Trek, TOS Trek is weird enough that you can have, Space Vikings in a B-movie set. We'd call it good.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You could do something like that with Traveler as well. Although, Traveler tries to be hard science fiction, so it loses some of its appeal. The ancients propelled themselves through space with mighty hammers.
Have you seen that movie? I know you don't like superhero movies, but it's a very amusing kind of adventure, funny movie. You know what I mean? So you might enjoy it. I don't know.
Their ships are moved through space by screaming goats.
Oh, what are you getting? Were the ships pulled by or running away from the screaming goats?
Pulled by.
Okay.
I've only made it through half of it. I still got to finish the ending.
No, we watched, for Neff's benefit, on Labor Day, we watched Ocean's 8. I'd actually never seen Ocean's 8 before.
Is that the first one?
I think it is.
It went like 8, 9, 11 or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't know.
Ocean's 8 was actually like the last one.
But it was a prequel, yeah. Or acted like one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't get it. I saw like the first one, but I didn't see the sequels, I don't think. Not that I didn't like the first one. It was just not my kind of movie, but it was amusing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was okay.
That's the kind of movie I use as an example of like American storytelling, where you get a group together and they all work together to accomplish something. And I always like to say, now if it was a Japanese story, you would get the group together and they would all sacrifice themselves one at a time to slowly advance the main guy to the end.
Okay. Actually, yeah, I see. Yes. Howdy, Stephen. How goes?
Greetings, goes well.
Hmm.
In Cyberpunk, how much game time has passed
Since
since it began? Since we, has it been days or weeks or months?
I'm pretty sure it's probably been something like months because we've been shot at and healed, and
We had a big period after that first mission.
Yeah, I'd say a couple months. Yeah.
you're wanting to tabulate all of the gadgets that you've made in that time, huh?
Yeah, I just want. Well, I've got a new idea for a drum magazine that holds 4 different types of rounds, but it would probably be very expensive, and I only have a 10% chance of successfully doing that one.
So what happens if you fail?
I lose half a week, half the time. I have to start over, and I lose half the time. I figure out I'll fail halfway through, and then I have to restart.
To finish the joke, if you were attempting to make a drum magazine, you'd end up with like a trumpet magazine or something like that. Or maybe a drum magazine as in a paper magazine, about drums, and
Right?
that has 4 different types of ammunition on the cover. It's just no telling. How I got that from metal, I'm not sure. But hey.
I think they called it the shotgun array, an array of bullets.
The magazine just holds the bullets. You would figure the array is the thing that projects them. So are you suggesting a 4-barrel shotgun?
Oh, that would be interesting. No, I didn't make the whole shotgun. I just made the plan on just making the drum. I haven't got an okay from Peg yet.
What's that class of melee weapons above very heavy? So with the helicopter blades. That's kind of what I have in mind for your jump from a shotgun to a shotgun projector array. Look, Ma, I'm carrying around a 30mm Vulcan gun. I might need one of the aircraft engines off the A-10 to help stabilize it when I fire it. Fuel system, all that good stuff. Keep adding weight, but that's okay. I'm a cyborg.
I once read a weird story about odd powers Superman used to have back in like the 1950s, because they used to give him different powers every week or something. And he could do things like fire smaller Supermen out of his eyes that would go and hit the people.
What?
And these are, things that were in the comics,
Oh, okay. That reminds me, you might find this amusing. I listened to Planet Money. It's a podcast about economics. Lots of interesting stories, and not just numbers and nonsense. It's really story driven. And one of the stories they wanted to tell was how copyright law works in the States. So they went back to the 30s and dredged up an old comic book villain, I think it was, Microface. It's basically a guy whose whole head is a microphone. This is a radio show, right? So they got Microface, and then they went through the whole deal about what it takes to go from you have this concept. Now we're going to make a comic book, a whole comic book. Everything involved in that, the writer, the publisher, the timetables, all of it. And how they terribly screwed it up because they added 2 pages to the writer's work at some point and said, hey, can he do this and that? Can he do that? And the writer was going, yeah, but if you do this, ... It was a really terribly interesting thing. But the point was that, they could dredge up this guy that had been out of copyright for a while because, nobody claimed him anymore. So they just made him their own. Microface, the superhero for radio podcasters. No idea what his powers were, though.
The powers of propaganda, probably.
I don't know. Let's see. Microface. It's for sale at the NPR shop. Okay, hey, who knew? And they have a musical out. They just went all out with it.
One anime I was watching just had an episode where I guess the director was taking a break.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually broke the fourth wall and had the characters go on this tour of an animation studio. And of course, as they're walking around the studio, it's their show, and all the people drawn are actual likenesses of the people that work on the show. And at one point, they do that, Who Framed Roger Rabbit thing where the main guy is in the real world walking around animated, but all the real people are just being filmed,
Uh-huh.
It's pretty neat.
Actually, it does sound pretty neat.
They talked a little bit about the progress or process of, what all goes on.
Oh, it's on back order.
What's on back order?
Their comic book. It's been on back order for like 6 months. I think they finally got it sorted out, but that was their tale of woe and tragedy. They kept being inexperienced with how the normal flow goes. They kept doing things. Hey, can't we add this, and can't we have them do that? And they had this 10-page thing about Microface encounters like a Federal Reserve chairman, and they felt it was important to explain a particular finer point of economics in that 10 pages, and the writers pulling their hair out. Are you kidding me? Hey, Cat, what are you doing, bud? And yeah, the end result was it was on back order. They it just really messed it up the schedule. I don't know anything about his power still, though. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Cat's trying to attack. All right. Attack, Cat. Attack.
Hey guys,
Hello. How's it going?
Hello.
Okay.
going good. Just thought I'd say hey before y'all got into playing.
Well, thank you for books. Robert brought those by today,
You're welcome.
and it's at some point, assuming the cat doesn't attack me into an inability to operate the lighter pages, then yeah, I'll go through those. But seriously, man.
Well, I just wanted to say hi before y'all started playing.
All right. Well, thank you, and you take care.
See y'all later. Bye.
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 Wait. Man, Cat, what are you doing, bud?
Yeah, she's got to go in 12 hours, so she was probably fixing to retire.
Yeah. Arr. Let's see here. Microphage powers.
I've also been watching the She-Hulk series. It's got like 4 episodes out now. It's kind of amusing too.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
She had a client. Well, it wasn't the client. The person she was going against was saying, "You can't copyright art," and they're all looking at him like, "Yes, you can copyright."
Oh my God. So Microface is a comic book, a musical, a holographic sticker, a t-shirt, and on and on and on.
See, when you say microface, I do not think of someone with a microphone for a face. I just think of someone with a really small face.
Apparently he has a microphone for a face. Actually, that's the way they described him on the radio. I haven't actually seen the picture.
Well, it's a radio show. There's no pictures.
That's exactly right. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, here they are.
See, you
Planet
can have
Bunny.
a-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you can have him have a buddy named Megaface,
Mm.
and it's like a megaphone for a face. So you got a microphone and a megaphone, but named Microface and Megaface. You expect someone with a small face and someone with a large face,
So Planet Bunny went searching through thousands of public domain characters and fell in love with the 1940s Sonic Avenger Microface. He was everything a podcast could have hoped for: super sensitive hearing, photoelectric vision, and the kicker, a microphone strapped to his face. Okay, that's better. Everyone owns the old version of Microface. But today, for the first time, Planet Money is announcing a new version that we can truly and legally call our own. Sam Salazar is a talented young business radio reporter. Yes, there will still be economics learning, who is chasing the story of a lifetime. In the process, he discovers his grandfather had a secret life as a golden age superhero. Join Sam as he uncovers his family history, digs into a complicated business plot about private equity, and takes up the mantle of his grandfather, the original Microface. Yeah, crazy. And t-shirts and stickers and such, yes.
Certainly better than the Japanese one with the underwear on his face.
Oh, God. Undie face?
No, that was Happy.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Happy did that.
Give Peg another couple of minutes here.
I'm gonna grab a snack while I wait.
All right.
You know, he seemed to be keen to be on when I talked to him yesterday.
RLTG as always.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Hello.
How are
So
you?
how goes?
I'm trying out new wireless headset.
Been playing sidekicks. So
See if we can pick the right tab this time.
I will admit, I'm not sure where we left off.
In the dungeon.
All had just descended down to the 3rd level.
Do you think we should go back and get the skeletons?
Well, the druid's not so convinced that that's such a great idea. They haven't done anything to us. Now, if this were the green one, the green one would have punched them when we met them, but you know, this is not.
Now, tie them up with rope and then haul them with us. You don't have to hurt them. In fact, hurting them, breaking them might break the key.
Well, one of them did at least try to stab somebody.
Well, it's only after we backed it into a corner.
Yes.
Yeah, he tried to stab Carrot. Well, in that case, onward then.
All right. Give me just a minute.
I kind of lost track of where we're at XP wise. So somebody tell us when we level.
I'm level 9 at the moment. That's all I know.
48,
Yeah, same here.
850.
All right, you just tell us when you level, and that'll work.
We've just turned level 9. We need 64K to get level 10.
Yeah, y'all are in the long path here. So
But we're still looking at the intro screen. If you wanted us to be looking at something.
yeah,
different.
I'm getting there.
So what's the purple stuff?
The purple stuff is some sort of fungus.
And out there?
I'm sorry, I wasn't looking. What there? Oh, those? Okay. There are 2 large they're standing very still, but they don't look like statues. Connected with a chain that goes across the hall.
Like Red Rover style?
I guess, yes. Let me.
Carrots can go ahead and approach to here. And I'll focus to close in behind him.
Okay. Got 15 windows open. Before you, okay. Let me deal with the purple mold sprouts from the floors, walls, and ceilings. The mold smells like rotting corpses. As you move past, tiny eyeballs emerge from the mold to watch you.
I point at it and look at Nitrox and say, burn that thing.
With what?
I don't know, but Carrick is going to use his sword to see if he can do anything to the fungus.
It catches fire quite nicely, and it burns quite. Yeah, it burns quite readily.
I'm not roasting marshmallows over it.
Okay. Up here,
Right?
2 hulking figures stand in alcoves across the hall, facing each other. Armor is bolted to their flesh, and they wear bucket helms and spiked gauntlets. Iron collars around their necks are connected by a spiked chain that stretches across the corridor.
Hello?
They don't move.
I read the plaque.
Ah, the plaque. That's that one. Yes, that's the one.
Interesting.
So folks are wanting to check this first, or what? What are we doing?
Yeah, might as well.
Jude in front?
All right.
Give
I'll
me
do
just
my
a
normal.
second.
Okay.
Now, do we have a tall elf warrior with us that's been here since the beginning that no one's really mentioned before and suddenly?
No, I'm working on it.
Okay.
I know pretty much how I'm going to do it.
I just like that scene where you see everybody you normally see, then the camera backs out a little and there's another person. And,
Hey, Fred. How you doing, Fred?
and everyone
Okay.
acts like it's perfectly normal.
That's right. Fred says hi.
Oh,
I'm a little concerned that he has so much setup for this.
Yeah, he was covered in the purple fungus that characters burned.
Nah.
Something like that happened on Critical Role once. There was a survivor in this pit and they set the pit on fire.
That sounds about right. Par for the course for them.
I'm burning all this fungus. Has it dropped any treasure?
Well, hold on just a second. One of the eyes stretches out of this fungus that's ahead of you before you get to it and burn it. And it shoots a ray of light at you. Make a con save.
Okay.
Okay, that makes the con save. But you stiffen up for just a moment before you can continue moving.
Paralysis ray.
Yes. So you're going to keep burning the purple fungus?
Yes, I'm going to keep burning with more enthusiasm now. I'm going to keep burning purple fungus.
Okay, you burn some more, and another patch takes another shot at you.
What's the DC on that save?
This save is a DC 16 dexterity save.
No, I did not make my DC 16 dexterity save. I
Well,
was
I,
off
guess
by 10.
I guess we can just see the second character that Steven made now.
You take 59 points of necrotic damage. That was a black ray of energy.
Eric, please stop attacking the purple stuff.
Okay. So purple fungus burnt to a certain extent. Carrick doesn't feel so well.
Yeah, Carrick doesn't feel so well.
Yeah, you know that the modern Dalek special effect where the Dalek shoots the guy and you see it's transparent except he's semi-transparent except for the skeleton for a second. Everybody else saw that.
So what we saw was the skeleton, then it melted.
Ow.
He's not dead. He's just
Ow.
hurt badly.
Well, you notice the druid isn't just leaping in there. All right. Let's take a moment and back up and reconsider the situation here. You're going to blow all my magic just to heal you before we've even started. So is it just the bones that are affected or what? You poke him. No, all right.
We can pause for about an hour and heal up a little.
Yeah. Why don't you blow some of your hit dice on healing yourself, and whatever's left I'll top off. Really? Okay, there it is. That's better. That's more like it. All right, keep going.
35. 47. 50. 57.
Okay, so that's just about it. All right.
Nighthawk leans over to Bruner and says, "Was his nose always that crooked?"
I don't remember his face being slanted.
So after we've rested and Carrick is skeleton is more or less back in the same arrangement, I'll do my normal wolf spider thing and ever so careful to try to avoid the patches on the walls and ceiling. Kind of skitter up to these guys and all right. So they're statuesque yet not.
Yeah, they are definitely not statues. They are definitely fleshy creatures of some sort with armor literally bolted onto them.
So I mean, not you don't necessarily have to be a wizard type to think flesh golem here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I will, assuming everybody's in a reasonably comfortable position back there in case something happens, waiting for people to actually fall out, ever so carefully avoiding the purple stuff. Okay, good. I see. Ninox isn't inside. That's as expected.
I was about to say, yeah, he's definitely waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. All right.
I move there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just stick a little leg out on the ceiling and poke, carefully walk between them, but above their heads. And then, oh, thank you. Tomb Guardian. Guardian of the Tomb. It does look pretty impressive. All right. Any reaction to just a big spider crawling around up there?
No, there is not.
All right. Well, I keep going. Okay. Just carefully looking around, avoiding the gunk. Okay. Peek around the corner here. Well, okay. I'll come back and chitter excitedly at my friends here shortly. And then there's a door, I guess, at the end here.
Yes.
Anything distinguishing about the door?
Let's see. No, just a large pair of stone, heavy-looking doors. They open.
Okay.
You can tell from the hinges that they open away from y'all.
Gotcha. So into whatever's on the other side.
Yes.
All right. I'll just carefully, step by step, inch by inch, take a look. More of the gunk. And all right. Well, I see what look like tables and ledges. What's this?
Yeah, hold on a second. All right.
And you're going to have to describe it. So I'll just, well, yeah, you describe it. And as less spoilery as you can for the rest. I think they can actually see my screen anyway. So
A 4-columned portico juts out from the far wall, beneath which is
it jumps
stone
out of me. I'm
sarcophagus.
done. Only that's like 10 hit points like this. Anyway, yeah.
Stone sarcophagus rests in the wall recess. 4 ceramic frog masks hang in niches around the sarcophagus. Beneath the mask, humanoid bones lie strewn across the floor.
All right.
To the east, a large carving of a tentacled frog monster squats above the shrine. Offerings lie on the shelf before it. 4 rectangular frescoes adorn the adjacent walls.
Okay. Really? That guy? Okay. Right. So come on back out. Come out to the gang. Chitter excitedly at them. So there's this sarcophagus and it's the froghemoth. You know, actually do kind of an impersonation of the froghemoth, you know, with take 3 legs and kind of poke them up at him. Beep, you know. The spider kind of waves at Ninox and indicates, can you give me something to write on? Or with, rather? Chalk.
Stares at you and I think she's saying there's nothing to go the other way for, we should turn around.
It does a little 3 thing again. Farkemoth.
Take the ash from the purple slime and use it as ink.
Ew. Okay. Looks over at the rest of the purple slime. Don't take this personally, fellas. So quickly draws out what I saw in there. And definitely makes a very bad drawing. I mean, this is like childish stick figure type drawings because she's really lousy at it. Oh, the Farkemoth, smiling. Right.
That's one of the big ones.
I think it's an octopus.
Could be. If someone throw me over the ledge, I hate when that happens.
I
Anyway,
didn't throw you over the ledge.
they can see my screen, and that's what I draw out. Okay. So we got like bones, and we got more bones. We got masks.
Yeah.
Masks, you
And
say?
you've got frescoes against the right wall.
Yes.
The drink?
I mean, seriously, is it like RC Cola or Sundrop or?
Oh, Sonny D, no way.
Yeah, I know, man.
Nice commercial.
Orange or grape or? I liked grape fresco actually. Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to do about it? I mean, go back over. These guys here will,
It's
pretty much
nice that you can get past the chain by crawling across the ceiling.
is this chain that goes between them. I mean, if we assume that that's the trigger event for them to notice somebody's there, I don't know that the chain is for us, really. I think it's pretty easy for us to get past
The
it.
chain is actually drapes across the floor. The chain looks like it's about 15 feet long.
Yeah, so it's actually on the floor, and
Yes.
yeah, I think the chain is there to keep something in, not to keep something out, because it's not taut, Yeah, and we would notice if there were a pressure plate there. So I think if something over here gets out, that they bring up the chain to keep it in its place.
Sounds reasonable.
I'm glad somebody thinks so. You've already got shot by, the thing already. So, yeah. All right. So what do you guys want to do about it?
Yeah, screw it. Let's just poke the bear.
Poke the bear.
15, 20, 25.
It's not a bear, it's a flesh golem.
Yeah.
Carrick's going to move here unless something happens before he gets there.
That's impressive.
Well, it takes you move there very quickly, and you're able to get there before you hear. Everybody needs to roll initiative.
I'm sideways now. Strange things are happening to the druid here. Oh, it's sideways. Okay, here we go. That's better. All right.
Plan and no plan survives contract with the enemy.
Not really seeing an enemy, just obstacles.
I hadn't noticed a plan either.
Yes, there is that.
Okay. All right, Carrick.
All right, Carrick's going to step forward. He's going to attack this one. He's going to use an action surge. Oh my.
Okay, both of those second attacks hit.
Flesh golem.
Flying,
He's got to be insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And as I said, I don't think he's there to attack. He's there to keep in. So that chain comes up. There might be attached to something beneath the floor that they pull up to kind of seal it off. And then I guess we're going to find out.
Okay, hold on a minute. It's making me do math.
I thought we had all these automated tools to prevent that.
My old foe.
I know
Algebra.
it. It's time to pull up another drink then. Carry the two. Yeah. What is it, buddy? Is it, buddy? Okay, you can take a nap here. I need to find a way to get like kitty pillows that I'll actually use, you know, in lieu of keyboards, keys. Something you'll rest his head on that's not going to, you know, trigger something else.
Just need like
Okay.
a platform thing that's slightly higher so he can look down on it.
The one that you
Alright.
hit is very. He doesn't seem to have liked getting hit with the flaming sword.
Ah, so it's like Frankenstein's monster.
Well, I think nobody likes getting hit by a flaming sword. You can't really blame, you know. Yeah.
Okay, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
What does a wolf spider do?
These guys haven't reacted yet.
They haven't gone yet.
Hmm.
They pulled their hands up and started stepping forward, but they haven't actually gone yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna duck in there and change back. And that's an action, so that's it.
Fenris, you hear groaning and the sounds of combat ahead of you.
We'll see if I can get a better vantage point without standing in purple stuff.
That purple stuff's all burnt.
Okay. I thought they were up here. So this is the one that's making all the noise.
Yeah, he seems more distressed than the other one does.
All right. So I guess I'll join. That sounds like a miss.
That is a miss.
That would be it for me because I spent my first portion moving.
No, you get to move and then attack. You get to move in full attack.
All right. I'll try one more. I'll pop a shot at the other one.
That one's probably going to have cover.
That looks a little better.
That hits.
10 points. Now I'm done.
Orvik steps up, sees two massive flesh golems about to come out of their cubicles, steps back.
Nope.
Nope. And neither of those hit.
I think I'm going to step back. Oh, I can see one. Good. Let's try this out first.
That hits.
Does it look effective?
Weirdly less effective than you'd expect, but it still affected him.
That's what I was afraid of. Okay.
Perception check.
No.
The chronic damage damages eyes too. Damn. A 1.
Brunner?
All right, I'll come here and I'll swing at that guy.
Using the halberd?
The glaive.
Glaive, yeah. That misses. Well, you got one hit. Okay.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
All right. You saw that. You didn't get a very good hit with that. The skin, it did not penetrate the skin as well as it should have. And make a perception check.
It got me too. Oh God.
Hold on just a second. Dinner for today and breakfast, lunch, and dinner tomorrow. All right. Okay. This time you don't need the perception check. You can tell from the attack. The one you hit did not take as much damage as you would expect. And the other thing is that you can see cuts and welts appearing on the other Tomb Guardian.
There's shattering damage.
And that chain is still just sitting there on the ground.
Yes. All right. One hit. Go ahead and make your attack, Carrick. That's enough to hit, which means he does not get to move.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for remembering that. Movement speed drops to 0.
All right. Well, he will slam you twice, or try to anyway. And Brunner, the other Tomb Guardian, tries to slam you.
Well, he succeeds once.
How are they looking after the amount of damage they've taken?
They're looking pretty rough.
Oh, really?
They are definitely bloodied. They've been bloodied for a while.
Interesting. Well, I'll just do some magic missiles into one of them. At level 1. So that is 9 damage.
Brunner,
I'll swing on the one that came and slammed me.
you hit once.
And I'll burn my action surge.
2 more hits. And that will be enough that they both collapse at the same time.
Good job.
Waiting for Gimli in the background to say, this still counts as one.
Do they have anything of value on them?
Not really. The armor is literally bolted on them.
A couple of Beyonce tickets.
Okay. Actually, Matt needs to make a perception check.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a passive perception is 19.
I'll make a perception check anyway.
Do I still need
Yes.
to make it? Yeah, I hate to make these rolls. You take the big number. See? Roll worse than the big number.
Okay.
Alrighty. That wasn't good enough, I guess.
That wasn't good enough.
All right. Okay, so here it is. Big room, Froghemoth, scary stuff.
Frogdude was one of the good guys. Frogdude and the cat were Froghemoth and the cat were the 2 that I wanted to get rid of the rodent that's in me.
You don't have a rodent. You've got
Ubalaka?
so
Yeah, I thought it was a bird.
No, Ubalaka, the little tiny.
he's a Zorbo.
Pardon?
He was a
Zorbo.
Zorbo.
The picture looks like a rodent.
Alrighty. So what do you want to do in here?
Well, the first thing is Obalaka Carrick. Obalaka, once you look around, says those masks are probably dangerous. I wouldn't put them on.
He says, what?
Those masks, there are masks up here. These little niches.
Ah,
Masks are probably dangerous. Things in here are dangerous. I wouldn't put them on.
I think we should put the masks on.
There are 4 frescoes on the east wall of the tomb, 2 on each side of the
Put
shrine.
your cat trap somewhere.
I think Zorbos are koalas.
First fresco shows a frog-like behemoth uses its tentacles to help the Oman people knock down a mighty statue. In the foreground, an old woman wearing a frog mask tosses 5 coins from her hand as though sowing seeds. The second one, a frog-like behemoth wraps its tentacles around a giant crocodile as Oman hunters stab the crocodile with their spears. In the foreground, an old man wearing a frog mask holds a bug up to his open mouth. The third one, a frog-like behemoth with 4 Oman hunters riding on its back finds a small boy in the jungle. The hunters seem elated. In the foreground, a young woman wearing a frog mask holds a knife in one hand and a headless chicken in the other. And on the 4th fresco, a frog-like behemoth wallows in the shallow pool as omens offer it urns of food and treasure as tribute. Cracks in the fresco obscure the head of a human figure in the foreground, but you can see that it. Looking through the wall shrine, you can see a 6-inch tall statue of a froghemoth. You know what a froghemoth is, Carrick?
Yeah. The 3 eye stalks that I shot at.
Yes. A copper bowl containing rat bones, 4 dead cockroaches, a green wax candle with a salvageable wick, and 5 gold pieces.
What was the froghemoth doing in the 4th picture?
Wallowing in a shallow pool.
So what are these notches in the floor?
That is actually it's a little roofed over area below the ceiling. So at that point, it's like 7 feet high in front of the. Yeah, it's about 7 feet high there, whereas the ceiling in here is about 10 feet high.
Jump up. Is there anything on it on top?
No, you don't see anything.
So is the ceiling heavy? Like if it were to drop down, it would harm somebody that was standing in the middle?
Well, it does appear to be made out of stone.
Yeah, but heavy stone, light stone, which one?
Light stone. Very light stone. Kind of stone that floats.
Well, that's why it's up in the ceiling. I got it.
Carrick's going to toss 5 gold coins in and step over the line.
Oh, hey, Nidix, here for the show.
Wouldn't miss it.
I think he just reached into his pocket and picked out some coins. You know, he didn't even use the ones that were up there on the offering table.
You mean you tossed him into the area under the little portico?
Yes.
Okay.
What you said
Nothing in particular happens.
they said there was a place for them. Where were the other 5 coins?
The other 5 coins were over here. It was a little altar.
I should have tossed the 5 coins over there. Yeah, he'll do that. He'll if there's an altar over here, he'll toss the 5 coins in there and then go marching over.
Okay. Give me just a second.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. At that point, you were still standing. You were still standing over here. You put the coins on the. You tossed the coins on the altar.
Right. Okay. So I toss the coins on the altar, and these guys pop up.
Wraiths.
Scary, scary.
So everybody get to roll initiative. Okay, it missed. You still take 26 damage, but you're fine. And Nidox. I think a 24 hits you. Okay, you're fine. Aside from 24 damage. Orvex would have been closer in. He would have. So he'll move up here. He would have been closer in. He wouldn't have been straggling back that much. And I'm going to put Runner like right here.
He's going to move to here and provoke.
All right.
And he's going to attack this one right here.
20 hits
He
you.
hit me. Yes, he hit me.
Okay, make me a con save. Which one are you attacking? Okay.
Have I rolled yet? I don't think I've rolled yet.
You haven't rolled yet. Okay, both those hit. All right. And now, once again, my nemesis.
Oh, mathematics. Gotcha.
That bloodied him, such as it you can bloody an incorporeal creature.
He looks more wispy.
The ducks.
The one furthest away is unharmed.
Yes.
Let's try.
These are incorporeal undead, by the way.
I'm gonna try to do this where let me draw something. I'll just use this. I can make a 30-foot cube, but I want to make it where it doesn't hit Carrick and goes from his right to the right into the wall.
Okay.
Hypnotic pattern, those two. So those two on the right would need to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'll let you back up on that because you should know that you would know that charm is undead are almost universally immune to charm type spells.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just aim at the far one and do this instead. Charisma saving throw. Does he look charismatic? Oddly, yes, he is. Oh, damn.
It's a good shot, though. Matt, you're muted. No, he's offline.
Hmm. Odd for somebody else to get kicked.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back.
Well, sort of. And my actual internet appears to be down. Such is life.
I thought the cat had turned off your computer or something.
Oh yeah, you know he is. He is actually kind of vaguely in that general area. He might be responsible. Was it my turn? So I was actually going to use that staff of striking for the first time.
Okay.
You should have my character sheet there. Just whack away at whichever one's closest to me, and if I hit, I'll expend 3 charges and do 3d6 extra force damage. It's a +3 magical weapon, so there's that.
Oh, that certainly hit.
All right, I expend all 3 charges to do 3d6 extra damage. Okay, come on, kids. Stop it.
Come on, roll the damage. D6, as you said.
Yeah, 3d6.
6 bludgeoning, 10 magical.
All right, whack it good, and it makes a satisfying.
Actually, 9 bludgeoning because it's +3 weapon.
Ah,
It should be calculated in the damage thing, but yeah.
should be was, but wasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Brunner.
Alrighty. I run in there and go, oh, holy crap, ghosts. And I'll swipe at that one.
Both those hit.
All right, and I'll end my turn on that.
Make a perception check.
Somebody's doing special dice.
Your glaive. You don't think your glaive did any? Say was quite as effective as it should have been on that. Okay. Gets missed. And Carrick gets missed.
I'll continue on this one. Come on, K2.
No, they hit.
Eric, if you don't mind, I'm going to do my reaction from when they were attacking.
Okay.
So whoever attacked Brunner takes an additional 12.
Not quite 12, but yes. They're resistant to fire. They're resistant to a whole bunch of things.
The one that's attacking Matthew. Did the 13 hit?
Barely.
Oh, cool. Good. It's hit.
Actually, the first hit kills it. So.
Right, and the second one's going to go to this one right here.
That one?
This one.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough to kill it.
I'll take that opportunity to step back behind the ranger. And let's just send some level 2 magic missiles. That's terrible. 8 damage.
I don't think you've got that in there, right? Oh, it's Orvix.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's adding a +3 for the staff.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
+3 for the staff will make it hit.
Okay. Well then, hang on. Yeah, that should fix the +3 for the staff. I never thought I'd actually use it, so I never set it up before. And I'll pump it up again. So there you go.
So the blunt damage should be 8.
I think that did it correctly. 1d6 plus 3 mod. So I rolled a 2 on the 1d8 rather.
But what's your strength or dexterity that you're swinging with?
Just strength is 10.
9.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I don't get strength. I'm not a fighter. So yeah.
And is that the end of what you're going to do, Matt? Okay. Runner?
All right, I'm going to slide right here and I'm going to pull out trusty Bob.
Bob! A 12 misses. But you did 10 damage.
Isn't Bob underwater?
Bob helps. Bob gives you advantage on swimming checks.
Either of those.
Oh, both those hit. It's very Oh, good. He missed. Carrick.
Woof woof.
Didox.
Well, it didn't work well last time, so let's do it again. There we go. 15 damage.
You blasted it into ectoplasm.
See, it's like I always say, try the same thing and expect different results.
And we're out of combat.
All right, I'm gonna head up to the what's that thing called?
Sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus. Thank you.
Well, the first one was for you, and the second one was for me. You being Nitox, you got hit pretty good.
I got hit. I mean, I'm okay.
So you're a little better okay.
Well, thank you. Which one was me? Second or first?
I don't even remember.
I
Why
think
don't you
you're
take the second one? I'll take the first. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't know why my bar isn't updating.
Yeah, mine is not either.
Okay, well,
I
it's much worse than it looks. But then you'll be even worse still. We'll see.
look around it and I pulled the lid off.
Okay, make me a athletic strength check. Carrick, I need an athletic strength check, please.
I think he gave it to you.
I don't see one. Oh, there it is. Oh, well, yes. Yes, you pull the lid off. Oh boy.
The health bar isn't updating and the chat doesn't scroll down with new entries.
Okay, well, I've got to look something up here.
Nitox and Orvex are having a conversation. Nitox says, "Ooh, that was rough." Says, "Yeah." So Orvex is like, "Yeah, I mean, I was worried about y'all." It's like, okay, we can recover as long as we rest and don't immediately go open something else.
That's when we hear creak.
Everybody needs to make a dex save.
Sin suddenly.
Well, whatever it was, Brian got caught in it.
Yeah. I think several of us did.
What was it, Dix?
Oh yeah.
Your dex.
Come on, Ranger. Uphold the honor of the group here.
For saving throws.
Oh, I liked your picture of a ranger running away from a goat. That was pretty neat.
Oh, you've heard of Dolly 2 and that class of AI that generates that sort of thing. Well, they've open sourced it now, and it's I did have to wrestle with it because I don't have enough GPU. I've got an 8 gigabyte, fairly recent GPU, and it still wasn't enough. So, but yeah, you can make it work. Hey, okay. Oh yeah, Ranger digs it. Ranger got it. Everybody else thud.
Okay. Carrick, you take 30 points of fire damage. Brenner, you take 25 points of acid damage.
Does it get on his face?
His pipes deflected it.
That might be even better.
Make a constitution save. Okay, that's good. That's one success.
You want another one?
No, just not right now.
Okay. I'm being turned to stone or something.
You are restrained right now.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Fenris, you take only 20 points of gold damage.
Only.
And Nitox, you take 27 points of fire damage.
Fire is very popular this evening.
Very gem resistant to fire damage.
That's why you got the cold.
Yep.
Actually, I think Nitox had his robes done up too.
That may be, yeah. You with the
You burned my clothes, you said?
No, your robes. They did the fire resistant treatment to your to your robes.
many games ago. We were fighting a dragon.
Oh.
So you take half that.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
Matt,
Dorothy.
make me another Constitution save. Okay, that's 2 successes. Make me another Constitution save. And that's a failure. Make me another Constitution save.
We're just getting these out of the way. Yeah, no matter what
Yes.
happens. Yeah.
Okay, you're fine. You got stiff there for a little bit.
Okay.
That was prismatic spray.
Fun. Oops, sorry guys.
Well, I mean, you know how that old saying goes. You know, curiosity killed the carrot.
And everybody behind him.
Sarcophagus contains a pair of bracers and 20 brittle arrows in a rotting leather quiver. Carvings of Proghemus adorn the bracers.
At the school objections of Ubalaka, I touch the bracers.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Odd or even.
Even.
The bracers glow as watery light ripples across the walls. A monstrous tentacled shadow rises from the sarcophagus, stench of a swamp. A rumbling voice echoes through the tomb. You are brave to summon me. Together we will crush the Undying One. And he pushes out Obalaka.
Oh, good.
Matthew, make a charisma save. Because you're the one wearing the ring of protection.
Okay.
Oh, right. That's his. That's the rodent's ring.
Ring of protection. You and I can get along.
So after
Okay.
being possessed by the kobold, or whatever it is, the Druid marches right up to Carrick and punches him dead in the face.
He raises his hand in surrender.
And then just stomps out. She did not want to get involved with that crap.
Okay.
The
Steve.
yes.
Any magic items you're attuned to?
None.
Yes, like the flaming sword you have to be attuned to.
Oh, really? Okay, that's right. Okay, I forgot about that.
I think there were a couple of other things, but anyway, any magic items you have that you're attuned to?
Right.
The flaming sword goes out.
And we should have
Probably plunges the room into darkness because everybody else was using you as a torch.
Ring of Death's door, I believe.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, guys, why don't we take a break here?
Okay. There's Obalaka for you, Matthew.
Brunner just puts a knowing hand on the church shoulders, like, it sucks. You get used to it.
Yeah, I wonder how much he's going to get used to healing his own damn self.
Well, I'm pretty sure the deity that just inhabited him is the sworn enemy of the one that's in me.
Oh, yeah? Is that true?
Yeah, this is kind of a question aimed at the spirit within me, too. I think we got lucky.
No, actually, it's Obalaka is his opposite. So, I think. Hold on a minute. I have to look this up.
Yeah, I have the Discord open. I was looking up the.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You would.
Yeah.
No, Kubazan is the opposite of the
Perhaps.
who hasn't inhabited anybody. You've got his artifact, but he hasn't inhabited anybody.
Yeah, I think that was the stick.
Okay. So y'all going to rest here or move out into the hall or?
Well, I guess I'll refit Carrick with a normal longsword since his cool one's now defunct.
No.
Oh, he can get it back. He just you need a rest.
And
He
we
needs
need
a rest
a
to
rest.
attune it.
We've taken so much damage that there's no way we can magically heal it. So yeah, let's rest. And you might as well do it in the big room because we've already triggered, I hope, everything that's to be triggered.
Yeah.
The character's going to touch a damn thing until we're done.
Bracers of archery.
That does sound appealing.
Dang. No,
So
I think you should take them.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get where I read it.
it says archery on it. Take it. Good Lord.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And And also available for the rest of the group are a Ringer Protect +1 and that staff of striking I just used for the first time, and the staff of the Python, because she's not touching the damn things again.
Yeah.
Well, you can give the staffs to Brunner because I hit things with sticks. So
The staff of striking is pretty satisfying when it actually connects. I've used 6 of the 10 charges. You can use up to 3 if it hits. It gets like 1d6 plus 4 back a day, and if you use all 10, you break it. So don't use all 10.
yeah. Other than that, it's just like a bow staff. If I remember.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Plus 3. Nice magical weapon. And the staff of the Python, I don't think it's. I don't remember. You can look it up, but it turns into a Python that you can command. So, constrictor snake. That was it. I already do druid stuff, so I don't really need that. But yeah, she's pretty fed up right now.
Any other takers for that ring of protection?
Neat. Regains charges at dawn.
Just don't. What was it? Don't feed it after night, and sprinkle it with. Don't sprinkle it with water.
Yeah.
We'll do a short rest and then a long rest, and that will recover everybody's hit dice as well.
Okay. Okay.
Was the staff of striking inhabited?
It was.
Hey, remember, you should be able to heal up at this point. Just burn all your what you don't get. Your hit dice,
Yeah.
and you're getting back. So basically, yeah, I assume everybody's going to be full by the time we're done.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Oh, no, the staff of striking was not one of the you didn't get it out of one of the tombs. You found it on the half goat guy.
Oh. The staff of the Python was found in the tomb.
Yes. In fact, I think that was where, that's where Moa came from.
Mhm.
So, Matt, if you carry the staff of striking, you're not risking getting inhabited by something else.
No, she's fed up. Besides, she's risk averse now. I can't chance it.
Who has Mo?
I do. Or not Moa. Yeah, I have Moa. I can't lie. And that was found in the room where the cursed child was. We killed all the spiders.
All right. I need a perception check from Eldred.
All right. You paying attention, Logan? He just called for you.
Yeah, sorry, man. We had this long fight, and you've been over. All you could do was nap.
Chris, can you see Eldred?
The green one. Yeah, I see him.
All right. You were with a party of adventurers in the Underdark when you got hit by a spell. You don't know what it did, but now this does not look where you were. There's purple alien-looking growth on the walls and ceiling, and you can see light up ahead. Over this way, coming from up here.
Walk to the light.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. So you get to hear, this is what you see. Since the other people you're with get squished, it might be handy to be around other people, so you might not get so likely to get squished this way. So what do? So he comes shuffling up here like a 14-year-old would. Hey, y'all.
Hail and well met.
Kill it with fire.
This is actually a pretty snooty looking elf.
Why do you think I said that?
Yeah, vendor select. Oh, great. Yeah.
Is there any other kind? Oh wait.
And you get in here and everybody's all napping. Everybody's all splayed out on the floor and everything. Taping up bandages and stuff like this. And where were you like 3 hours ago? We were getting our. You want to tell them anything else? Tell them your story about how you got stranded down here where the rest of your party got squished. Don't go that way. Let it remain. Mystery. Okay. You can be an international elf of mystery, he said.
We're quite a ways from Underdog.
Nighthawk shrugs this as well. You know, with teleportation, everywhere is close.
All right. So Eldred is here now.
Let me go ahead and add him to the. Are we going to run with the same turn order for a while?
We'll clear it for now. You could get into another fight here soon, but
Okay, well, we'll wait and see. I just didn't know if I need to add him in.
you have this new elf that has shown up.
He's pretty equal in stature to everybody else. It's just, he don't have any magic or anything weird like that.
He's awfully pale compared to me.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a pale elf.
Oh, does he at least have weapons and armor?
Yes, he's got weapons and armor, but it is non-magical.
Say again, Peg, you blipped on me.
Oh no, you're good. Eric answered it.
Just making sure your guy had equipment.
Just a large sword and a longbow. His image shows scale mail, but he chose, leather armor and a longbow as his character matcher stuff.
All right. So, what do y'all do now?
Put the elf on point.
And the druid takes position at the back of the line.
Nighthawks and Orvex have one of their little conversations. It looks like the druid's getting smarter.
You want to check out the double doors or go up to the right?
Well, you might as well open those doors up while we're standing here.
Gotcha.
As he steps back.
Yeah.
Which way are we going?
Down and left.
Down and this left?
Yep.
All right. All right. Logan, you going to open the doors?
Wait, do a perception check.
I was just making sure he knew he was taking point.
Does anybody want to do a perception check?
Oh, Logan might be that smart. Let's see. See if your perception has gotten any better in the last 5 minutes. A little bit.
Now, it's not if Logan is that smart. It's if Elred is that smart.
I got you.
How does the door open?
Swings in away from us, according to the hinges.
Flip the switch and go on and open the door. Don't go in. Open the door.
You in it to win it now.
We had a short rest, right?
Help if I turn my mic on.
Yeah,
Whoever rolled a 20 perception finds a secret door right there.
All right, let's start with that one. What are we looking at?
Okay. A golden skull rests on a pedestal in the middle of the small, dusty room.
This is where Sandoval cashed in.
Step in the room if it doesn't look anything. What's this over here?
That is a small tunnel. Let's see, how big? A medium-sized creature could squeeze through there, barely.
So how big is this elf?
6 foot even. According to Logan, he's 6 foot even.
Okay,
I didn't
bit tall for an elf, but that's okay.
There's a golden skull here. Anybody want to do anything with it?
Anybody got a little bag of sand?
Ask the skull what it wants to do.
Ask the skull what it wants to do.
The skull does not respond.
Don't you believe it? So you gonna go in and look at the golden skull? Or you gonna stay out in the hallway like everybody else?
And come out of the room and say that. Not gonna go
It
down
looks
through
valuable. You should probably take it. That's in your head.
I was gonna say.
It's all that purple mold. No, instead of eyes, we have mouths.
I know you'd want a solid golden
That's scuba's
skull.
on.
The character's not really motivated by greed.
Well, the elf says he'll look.
Okay, it's a small gold statue. It's gold skull.
So there it is. That's actually pretty fair size as far as the picture goes.
Yeah, it's a standard human
Yeah.
head skull. So yes.
don't know. Most standard humans don't have gold skulls.
No, it's not.
Happy a rap star for that.
Yes.
Starts with teeth and then it goes on and on.
This guy just took it too far, I guess.
Exactly.
Touch it, touch it, touch it.
What did he say? I didn't hear that.
It says he'll pick it up.
As soon as you touch the skull, it levitates to the air. Finally, I thought no one would do this.
All right, so what you got to roll to die?
Shakes his head and heads out.
Yeah.
And it starts floating next to his. It starts floating right next to him.
It's not attacking him. It's just, kind of hanging
No.
out.
Well, it is. It has started a banal, insulting stream of chatter directed at the person that touched it.
Anybody blip? What happened?
It's steadily insulting poor Elred.
Oh, okay.
It's insulting him, mocking him,
You call those pointed ears? Ah,
deadpan banner.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, what big ears you have. Yeah. How old are you to have
I
white
could
hair?
talk softer, and that way you wouldn't have. It's like you've got big enough ears that I could talk softer.
the rest of
Forgot
us
about
here, too.
You're a big person. Yes, everybody hears it.
Offer to put it in the bag of holding.
Oh no! I'm fine here.
You found the skull of bereavement. How about that?
Hey, Elred, there's this open mouth skull upstairs. It's huge. I was wondering if you could step inside.
Oh, welcome back, Matthew.
Well,
Oh, I've been here.
yeah. I was presenting and all of a sudden started killing my ping.
Well, aren't y'all just the cutest little group of misfits?
Wow, so the insults expand now.
So you're gonna
So
stay.
here to take down a Sirac, huh?
Actually,
Well,
we're
if this
just
guy's
looking
any
to
example
find-
of your abilities, say your cognitive abilities, you're in for a long trip.
You got this little bitty tube. Or maybe you need to shove the head down the tube.
Hey,
Well, if
Skull,
you're so
you know your
smart-
way around? Yeah.
You know, man.
Well, if you're so smart, the droid says from behind, what would you do to fight him? Battle of the insults.
You're supposed to shove the head down the
Well, I'd
tube.
I'd probably run away, which is what I tried to do, but
Obviously,
You
it
know.
didn't work for you.
it didn't work out for me.
So, what was your failing strategy? The stellar plan that you and yours came up with that we should avoid because we don't want to become golden heads like you.
Well, being the city of Omu seemed to be a very bad idea.
Yeah, we
The
saw that.
Sirac came in, he enslaved the entire population, made us build this tomb, killed most of us, took a few of us just outright killed most of us, took a few of us for his personal jests. I'm one of them.
Hmm.
I think he enjoys it whenever I pester people.
Then why do it? If you ought to
Because
act out
I
of-
enjoy it whenever I pester people.
so the truth is revealed. All right. Well, prove your usefulness. What's behind those doors over there?
Air.
Good guess. Keep going.
I'm not going to help you with anything in here.
And why
The
not?
Shrek might get mad at me. I don't want him mad at me. He's not mad at me now. He turned me into a golden skull, and he wasn't mad at me. I don't want to make him mad at me.
Hey, you're already dead. What's the difference?
Oh, there are worse things in death, my friend. There are worse things in death.
Well,
Like being a golden skull and stuck riding on this guy's shoulder.
is he removable? Ask Logan's character. Can you actually knock him off your shoulder?
He's actually floating there, but yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, it doesn't seem like there's any reason for us to keep you around. If you enjoy pestering, then you ought to pull your weight, as it were, which is not all that, obviously not all that significant. There must not be much you can do anyway.
Well, I might not be able to do much, but sometimes a fella just likes to sit back and watch the chaos unfold.
Which you've had ample opportunity.
No, I've been stuck in that room for, I don't know, I lose track of time.
Hey, you were here when the whole place shook, a little while ago. Didn't your are there any of the purple mushroom guys in here?
In that room, no.
Interesting.
Oh, hey, I see some brilliant guy burn some of the purple mushroom. That must have gone fun.
Hey, watch her. Come on, man. Stop.
My bad.
He's trying to eat the phone.
And you're the one that walked away from me? Oh, boy.
Oh, give it time. Well, I figure it's
Maybe it was a teachable moment.
I figure it's Logan's choice. Do you want to keep this pest around, who may prove useful or not at a future date?
Yeah, sure. He says he can put up with the insults of having a parrot on his shoulder.
Sweet. Okay. Talking Golden Skull.
It is distracting. I'm not doing it justice. It is a constant stream of bad puns, insults.
Logan says he's in middle school. He's used to that.
Actually, yeah. It's just like any other day. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Night Talks will look at it and be like, so, what's up ahead?
Too bad you're nervous. You'd be a real good spidery down in this hole over here.
No, she's not
Yeah.
doing that. You lost your scalp.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are y'all doing now?
I'm watching Carrot push on that door.
Yeah, Carrot can open the
Okay.
door, but he doesn't want people standing in line behind him. Stagger yourselves.
So you want to go over and try to have Derek open the door? Mr. Strength? He says no. We could always open the door and throw the skull in and see what you find. They roll him in there like a bowling ball. The thing is that he can't open it by
10 feet from the doors, a thick tapestry curtain hangs from wall to wall. Its embroidery shows a scene of merriment, nobles feasting around a banquet table, a roast boar on a platter, the servants pouring wine.
Yeah, I see. I'm just moving down. She did not move down there. I'm just moving down there to get a camera view of it for recording.
Edward rolls a 21 on investigation trying to find the switch.
So it looks like there's just the room and the tapestry.
Yep. Big, heavy tapestry. 10 feet tall.
Is it moving?
It may be moved a little bit from where you push the doors open, but in general, it's not moving.
I'm
What
gonna
does
go
it
ahead.
portray?
Pardon?
What does the tapestry portray?
The Last Supper, like
A scene of merriment, nobles feasting around a banquet table, roast boar on a platter, and servants pouring wine.
It's like a menu.
eat at Joe's. Well, Carrot's gonna poke it with a stick.
Okay, it reacts like a heavy tapestry would when you poke it. You push it back some.
Is there anything behind it? Can
Okay, if you're gonna, you either have to pull it up from the floor or you have to go around one edge or the other.
I'm gonna go around the edge. You can take it and move it away from the wall. And move it out and see what's behind it.
Another curtain hangs behind the first, showing the same scene but descended into depravity. The nobles fight with each other, partake in carnal encounters on the table, or sprawl on the floor in puddles of vomit.
Very early time-lapse photography.
All right, gonna step back and will it burn?
Yes, the tapestry will burn.
I'm going to burn the first tapestry.
Okay,
Stepping out of the room if it gets too smoky.
well, it gets smoky pretty quick, and it goes up like an old dry tapestry. And now y'all can all see that second tapestry behind it.
I like the other one better.
Yeah, that works so well. I'm going to go in and like the other one.
Okay. As the fire burns away the curtain and it collapses to the floor, you see a third curtain behind the second. A scene of horror confronts you. Nobles feasting on servants, eating each other alive, setting fire to the hall. The roast boar is alive and laughing on its platter. Let's see. Elred needs a wisdom save.
All right.
Carrick needs a wisdom save. Carrick, you don't want to go back in that room. Elred, you want to get out of this room now.
Going to light a torch and throw it at the third curtain.
So you're out.
He bravely ran away. He bravely ran away. Yes, it's when danger reared its ugly head, he turned his tail and fled.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you throw a torch at the third curtain, and a thick pall of smoke descends as it goes up in flame. After a minute or two, it starts to collapse off of the rod that's holding it. All right. Oh wow, that's like everybody except Nitox.
And the druid. I just moved there so the camera would show it on the stream.
Oh,
I'm behind
okay.
Nitox.
The rotting head of a giant boar is mounted to the wall behind the final curtain. Fresh blood and gore spatters its tusks, dribbling down the wall beneath it. Everybody needs to make a wisdom save, please. Chris, which save was which character?
Elred was first and Venris was second.
All right.
Yeah.
B2.
Oh.
Oh, Kirk and Eldred, you want to go? You want to go right up to that boar's head?
How can it be that fresh?
You want to just go right up to it?
Want to or do?
Oh, you really want to?
Not as bad as Orvex does, but
Actually, worse than Orvex does. Carrick rolled a 3.
oh,
And since you rolled a 3, I'll let you get to the head first.
okay.
And you want to put you just feel it's the best thing to do to stick your head in the boar's mouth.
I put my shield in the boar's mouth and then put my head in it.
You don't have that much control. Kubazan is saying, I fear nothing, but no, don't do that.
I know it's stupid.
That seems perfectly rational to you. It chomps down. You take 25 damage.
We.
You may make another wisdom save. Elder, you get right next to him, and you're not going to fight him to get into the thing. You're just you'll wait patiently while he gets gnawed on.
We lost Mr. Peg.
All right. Everybody else saw these 3 people wander into the room, and Carrick proceeded to stick his head in the boar's mouth, which then clamps down on his head. Does anybody do anything?
Trying to decide if I think that's out of character for him or not.
It's probably out of character for the other 2, though.
Yeah.
Something will be done, yes, but determine turn order, I suppose.
Well, okay, I guess we can roll initiative. Brunor. Okay. Matt, you hear some commotion around the corner. And you saw Orvex walk by kind of in a daze.
What's going on? No one's reported to the druid yet what's going on. So
No, Brenner would explain because he stood there and saw the whole thing. Yeah, Garrick burned down these tapestries that became scarier and scarier, and at the end of it, whoa, big stone boar head that spewed blood and guts, and all of a sudden, they just wanted to go touch the thing, and Garrick got in it, and it slammed its jaws shut.
great. No, she's not going to go out to carry it. That'd be too risky. Oh, I suppose the only other thing left to do is to conjure an earth element. I'll go do it.
That seems reasonable.
So yeah, she conjures an earth elemental. Go get them away from that and beat it up afterwards.
Bruner?
I mean, I don't want to go in there. I saw what just came out of there, so I can't.
Well, it's unpleasant, but you can see the you felt a compulsion to go for just a second, and then it faded.
I think what I'll do is I'll try and grab people out of the way of the elemental. Come up here, I'll grab Oryx. I'll come up here, I'll grab the elf we just met. Don't want to lose someone we just met already.
Okay,
Wait,
so
no,
you're
no,
going
no,
to
you
try
come with
to
me.
grab Orvex and pull him back out.
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be a grapple.
Ooh.
So roll to hit.
You want just like a strength roll, or
It's basically just an unarmed attack. Basically a D20 plus your strength plus your base attack or your proficiency bonus. Okay, you managed to grapple Orvex. You can move him. Right now, you had to move up to grab him. You've got him grappled. He can't continue moving, but you can't pull him back yet. It'll cost you 2 movement,
I'll
2 feet of movement for each foot you move.
grab him and pull him back.
And
I was
you
just
may
gonna
make a
grab him.
wisdom save.
My shit's freezing up. I'm red barring again. Yep, there he goes. Probably gonna be the second one. Yep.
No, not you. Carrick needs to make a wisdom save.
Yeah, Steven just got munched on
Oh, okay.
head again, and
Gotcha. I didn't hear anything after I grappled, then all of a sudden here, make a wisdom save.
although I think he would like to have that natural 20 of yours.
Were you talking to me, Eric?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I take
Make a
24.
wisdom save, please.
Oh my
I said,
god.
it's very comfy inside the mouth of that thing. And you took another 24 points of damage. So
Wait,
you got Orvex grappled. Elred is waiting patiently for the mouth to be free.
Hey Peg, do you happen to have Charter?
What's that?
Your internet service provider.
Oh,
Spectrum or Charter?
I'm Xfinity,
Okay.
which is probably why this is happening.
well, crap, I don't know how to do it.
You would make if you have like a melee weapon or something, if you make an attack roll with that, that would be the same as your hand-to-hand.
I think
I got you.
athletics is the same for
It
grappling.
should be an unarmed strike there on your attacks and spellcasting.
About that.
Let's see your roll there. Wow. Looks
Okay,
good.
you're able to grab him,
All right.
and you had to move all the way
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
to that. So,
Yeah.
so you are here.
And you
Yeah.
can move it half your speed.
Seeing Bruner grappling with Orvex around the corner, I'm going to suggest Orvex get back behind me.
So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give Orvex a save. But I'll give him a bonus on the save because your saving throw DC is more difficult than the Boar's Head saving throw DC. And actually a penalty on the save, I should say. So, yeah. All right. Your suggestion takes. Oh, his turn. He'll move back. Okay.
Well, the druid is still behind Nidox. I'm not going out there until somebody brings me somebody to heal. All of my heals are touch heals, by the way. That's the other thing that you've done. So do the stone elemental guy. His orders were to grab people and take them away, and the next one that hasn't been grabbed is Carrick. So go get him.
So there's a boar's head with Carrick's head in its mouth. His legs are sticking straight out backwards, being held by a stone elemental, and they're playing tug of war. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what you're hearing. It tried. Okay, that's that.
Okay, Brunner.
feel like he
Orvex
would have
is not
advantage.
resisting you pulling him, so you can pull him as far as you want.
Okay.
The
Well,
element
that's what.
have advantage while Carrick's head is in a boar's mouth.
Sure,
So-
he gets advantage. That seems reasonable.
So I'll basically just move
Okay.
him all the way back toward Nitox.
Okay. So he pulls you out of the head. Carrick, he pulled you out of the head.
Want to make a wisdom save?
No, you need to make a athletics check. Oh, wow. You managed to squirm away from the elemental.
With a 2,
It rolled a 1.
dived in head first.
Carrot gets back there, and well, nobody else's head is stuck in the hole, so you might as well stick yours in there. And you can make a wisdom save. You know, this is a really stupid idea.
5, 10. He dives into the group of people here.
Oh, hey, somebody that can heal. All right. Yeah, that's. You know, they were commenting about your face being a little slanted before, but my God, you know. This is my held action from waiting for somebody to show up to get healed. There you go. 23 so far. Hey, is there anybody else out there? Oh,
Elred
boy.
needs to make an athletics check, and then Venrus needs to make an attack roll.
No, he gets away.
Okay.
So you go charging back in, stick your head back in the boar's head again.
So now there's not anybody in the boar's head, so you stick your head in and take 18 points of damage as it chomps down on you. You do get to make a wisdom save, however.
All right.
Venrus, you want to grapple him? Well, that's good enough to get him grappled. And you can move him 3 squares.
All right.
Myself in this hall so that Orvex can't get by me easily should he decide to run again.
Okay. Is that all you do?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, the first thing is his head's still not on right. So that's 19 more for Carrick. And then since everybody is kind of taken care of at the moment, the Earth Elemental can go up there and smash that thing in its stone face.
It does so. It's actually not a stone face. It is literally a mounted boar's head. And that is enough to shatter it into pieces. And Eldred stops resisting you, Venrus.
Who? What?
And that's to our new elf friend. 19 points of healing for him. So who is still down from that last incident?
72 of 94.
Close enough. How about our elf friend? I think they got most of it. He just got chomped on once.
Yeah. What was that? 19, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should fix him.
Nitox to Orvex. Is Carrick's nose a little straighter now?
You turn around to talk to him, and you say, "Is Carrick's nose?" And he pushes past you and gets behind you.
Concentration, man.
Folks, I am fading fast.
I'm fading fast too, so
Yeah, that's,
I think
yeah,
there
it's a good place.
is a good ending spot.
That works. Well, good show.
Yeah, thanks all.
We got the new elf in, and
We've got Elred with us. It works out. You actually get to fight some things. Get chewed on by a giant pig.
Good first start.
Welcome to D&D, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Remember, I've got a hole for him to step into.
Cool, gang.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Oh.
Y'all have a good evening.
All
Okay.
right, Good night, y'all.
All right.